Hey, hello, how are you? And welcome to Road Odyssey.
Chevy wants to speed up production. Ford wants to speed up production. Heck, even Dodge and everybody else wants to speed up production. But they're all being held back from lack of raw materials, chip shortage, shipping containers, transportation, whatever it is. So let's hope this stuff gets better in the future.
Hey, hello, how are y'all? Hope y'all are doing great. Please subscribe down below. Thank you very much. And today's topic is on raw materials, shipping, just how are things going to go for C8 production maybe in the future, or for that matter, most any really cool car that we might be interested in. So I just want to go over some of this. Thought I'd do a little bit of research, and here's what I found.
All of the U.S. manufacturers of automobiles are very hungry for their chips, raw materials, an increase in logistics and transportation, and to begin bolstering their labor force. This graph, by looking at the red, blue, and green lines on the bottom, how they are shooting up, just means that the manufacturers are in great need of the infrastructure and supplies to really kick in. Let's get into the semiconductor topic. Sources from the Detroit Big Three, as well as other automakers, are saying that the situation should start improving by the third quarter. They seriously believe that the chip shortage is going to subside. Those that watch the investments have said that they can see a reallocation of capital and increasing supply inventories at these automakers. Although there is a positive outlook to the near future of semiconductor supply, these manufacturers are still very afraid of the outlook for coronavirus cases in the future. The disclaimer to this is that the chip shortage is not expected to be fully sorted out until sometime in 2022. Let's start looking at the supply chain and the issues involved here. While the supply chain for automakers is complex, let's just look at the basics. In this graph on the right hand side with it shooting up, this is indicating an insufficient supply of materials as a primary reason for production to be below full capacity. From several of the articles, I could glean out that they expected that the supply chain issues would begin to alleviate in the second half of this year, but not really getting over the hump until the first quarter, maybe a little later, of next year, 2022 at the earliest. Within the supply chain, let's look at the raw materials such as steel. Some steel market participants have said that the automotive production is already improving, and they have the expectation that car production will continue to increase. The price for hot rolled coil steel also continues to break through record highs. Now, one producer said that steel makers have received letters from the auto manufacturers saying, hey, prepare for inventories to increase because of the demand of more cars being made over the next 2 to 3 months. Aluminum is pretty much in the same boat. Aluminum producers are also increasing their inventory because they expect strong automotive demand in the second half of the year. While the aluminum is being produced, the one problem in the supply chain here are the parts producers just trying to keep up with the demand themselves. So even though the foundries may have aluminum, it doesn't mean that the parts producers are able to keep up with that demand. As another example, let's look at the raw material rubber. Just in 2020, quarter 4, rubber demand increased by 5%. This graph from June 8th, 2021 shows rubber demand increasing. In this graph, in the red on the right, you can see that the demand, the consumption side, is higher than the ability to produce, as shown on the left-hand side in the blue. Another aspect of supply chain is shipping. In some cases, shipping cost has surged by about 40 to 50%. Manufacturers, really somewhere between 5 and 10%, have said that logistics or transportation has been a form of constraint on their production up through quarter 1 of 2021. Add to shipping the demand for boxes and containers. Again, the hope is by the end of the first quarter, maybe second quarter of 2022, all of the raw material and logistics, all that should be under control. But wait, there's more. Another important factor here that I've not touched on before is that of the supply of local labor. Since about the fourth quarter of 2019, the increase in labor needs, and that is saying the need for more labor, has gone from 16.3% to 28.0% in the first quarter of 2021. Now, this is worldwide, and here again, part of the problem, and I don't know a lot about this, if anything at all, I'm just reading from these articles, but they're saying some of these labor shortages are related to border restrictions for their labor to move across borders. So the list of problems that are supposedly getting better by the end of 2021 or the first half of 2022 are chips, raw materials, shipping, labor, and COVID. This is a very powerful list where any one thing could throw a wrench in the whole works. And what is the most likely thing to mess all this up? Any further COVID issues, illness issues, health, whatever it is, and our government sticking their hands in our business as a result of all this. So, you know what? I'm keeping the calendar open and just going to watch and see what happens.
All right, that'll do it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Y'all are great. And you know what? Fingers crossed that the economies and, we don't have too much inflation and all that stuff going on. And really hope that COVID calms down and our government doesn't go loopy-loony with all this stuff. So anyway, like I said, fingers crossed. So with that, relax, take it easy, and I will see you later. Bye.